Good morning. We're finally back after a nice extended 5-day weekend due to our snowstorm, and we are reviewing the area of a parallelogram. We discussed that the formula is base times height, and the base is the perpendicular distance between our parallel lines. All right, so in number 1, it is 7 is the base, and the height is going to be the perpendicular distance from here to here. 1, 2, 3. So my height equals 3. It's not the slanty distance, it's the perpendicular distance. So for problem number 1, you should have 7 times 3, which equals 21 units squared. Because it's an area, it says there are 21 little squares in that shape. That's what area is all about. In number 2, 11 is my base and 9 is the height. And see that box? That indicates that it's a perpendicular distance. So area equals 11 times 9, and that gives you the answer of 99 inches squared. So if we drew squares, you would have 99. In number 3, 4 is going to be my base. 8 is the height that has that little perpendicular box. So 4 times 8 equals 32 feet squared. And our last one, since you have a calculator, you can multiply it, but remember the rules last week? You have to write down what you're multiplying. Okay? So before you put down the answer, you have to say 59 3/10 times 24 9/10. And what does that equal when you multiply them? Who has their calculator out and has multiplied this? What did you get when you multiplied that together? Anyone have a calculator? Yes. Do you have a decimal point in there? It's just 1,476. It came out perfect. What did you get?
147.57.
Okay, I think that's a little more exact. And this would be meters squared. Since you have a calculator, keep it exact unless I tell you to round it. Now, let's say I wanted you to round to the 10th place. What would that answer be if it's rounded to the 10th place? The 5 is in the 10th place. What would the 7 turn the 5 into? A 6. 1,476 6/10 meters squared. Any questions on that? What if it said we wanted you to round it to the nearest whole number? What would that answer be? The whole number is to the left of the decimal point. What would the nearest whole number be? 1,470 what? 76 or 77? Right, 1,477 meters squared would be the answer if it's rounded to the nearest whole number. Okay, now let's go to the back side. And the back side of our bell work today is the area of a triangle. So let's begin by writing the formula. There are 2 formulas. The one that I like the best is this one. Base times height divided by 2. That's the one since you get to use calculators, this is the best one to use. Now the other formula, I do want you to write it down, is this. 1/2 the height times the base, or 1/2 the base times the height is another one that you can see. I like this one the best. So let's go to this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is 7 line segments long. That is the base. The height on a triangle, it's the distance from the base to the highest point, and it has to be a perpendicular distance. How do I know? You look for the little box. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. My height is 4 units. So we're going to have 4 times 7 divided by 2. Now you'll be allowed to use a calculator, but you have to write it down before you multiply. 4 times 7 is 28. 28 divided by 2 is 14. So this is 14 units squared. Any questions? Okay, let's go to this one. 12 is my base, 4 is the height, and it's got that little thing. So 12 times 4, it's a triangle, divided by 2. So in your calculator, you take 12 times 4 divided by 2, and what do you get? 24 feet squared. Whenever you're finding area, you put feet squared. In this one, my base is 6 and the height is 6. 6 times 6 divided by 2. What's the answer? 18 kilometers squared. Any questions on triangles or parallelograms? You are all pretty good at that today? Good. Now, the next thing we're going to do is review trapezoids. Remember how we did trapezoids right before we left? We're now going to go in our math books. This is my plan. I've updated our plan just to let you know. That's the old one. Let me find the new plan. Here's our new plan, and I'll be putting this in your Google. Your Google Classroom has to be fixed for today because we were talking as teachers what we were doing. Your next test, kids, is going to be Wednesday the 16th. Now, you have clear sight on the 15th and clear sight on the 17th. So that's whenever you're going to be in my room a long time, because we're on the 2-hour delay and we take it for 2 hours in my classroom. Bring some snacks on those days, okay? Then we have another test on the 25th, and that is what we're doing. We have an e-learning day on the 18th. Oh, and on the 21st is another, it's the President's Day. I need to put that in here. 2/21 is President's Day. And so look, oh my goodness, kids, this is our only 5-day week because the following week it's an e-learning day on the 18th, so you only go to school 4 days. The next week you only go to school 4 days because of President's Day. This is our only 5-day week in February that we've had. In fact, I think it's our only 5-day week we've had since we came back from winter break. I don't think we've been to school a full 5 days. Maybe 1 week? I don't know. We'll have to look at that. Okay, so now the bell work was a worksheet. We're going to go to page 689 and 691 in your math book. So let's go to those pages in your math book. Page 691. All right, so we're going to go to page 686. 686 in your math book. And we're going to just talk about trapezoids. We did this last week, but let's go over it again. This is their formula, 1/2 the height times your B1 plus your B2. Now your B's are the sides that are parallel. This side and this side are parallel, so they are your B's. You could name this one B1 and that one B2, it doesn't matter. But you add your parallel sides together, take it times the height, and then divide by 2. So let's rewrite the easy formula, since you get to use calculators, is this. You're going to take your height times B1 plus B2, and then divide the answer by 2. All right, that's the formula I want you to use on these. Now, you have to remember order of operations. You will add your bases first, then multiply it by the height, and then divide by 2. Any questions? All right, let's go on now then to A, B, and C on page 687. A, B, and C. All right, so let's do these problems on this section. You can show your work. Some of your work you can put here. You can put it over here to the side, but I'm going to walk around the room and see how you're doing. The area is going to be 8 times 11 plus 14 divided by 2. When it's a trapezoid, you divide it by 2. So then you're going to have 8 times 25 divided by 2, and that will give you your answer on that problem. Okay, so for letter A, here's our work. I simplified it here. I get 100 centimeters squared. Letter B, I have the work over here. My B's, I add them together and get 7 3/10. 4 times 7 3/10 divided by 2, 14 6/10 centimeters squared, or meters squared. That's meters. And in letter C, so in letter C, what are my bases in letter C? What did you add together? Our height is 0.3, so area equals 0.3 times, what did you add together? 1 plus 0.5, so that's 1.5. I added that in my head. 1 and 0.5 is 1.5 divided by 2. So when you take 0.3 times 1.5 and then divide it by 2, what did you get for your answer? What did you get for your answer on that one, class? You have calculators. Let's, yes. That is correct. You get 225 thousandths feet squared. If you want to put a 0 in front, that is fine. Feet squared. Okay? We're not going to focus on finding the missing height today on these problems. We're going to go on now to some practice problems. So what do I want you to do? I want you to do on page 688, the guided practice, do 1 to 4. And then on page 689, I want you to do 1 to 8. You can use a calculator, and that is going to be your assignment. I also have a worksheet that we're going to do. Since we're going to do the worksheet, I think we're just going to do 1 to 7 on this page. 1 to 7. And I will get your worksheet passed out to you in just a moment. Have a good day. Okay, so I'm going to just highlight your bases so you get a feel. Your bases are your parallel sides. Skip number 3. Remember the formula. Height times B1 plus B2 divided by 2. Did you get 68 meters squared for this problem? Thumbs up. Did you get 68 meters squared? Good. What? Oh, to the tenths. Not tens, the tenths. So, but you're right. If we rounded it to the tens, it would be 70. But it's tenths. And tenths in this one, did you get 90.4 tenths feet squared on that problem? And in number 4, when you do this one, did you get what? 253 feet squared? All right, so the answer is 253 feet squared. Let's see. Can play them. We didn't have to subtract that piece out of there, did we? No. It's just, so that should work there fine for that. All right, so go ahead and I will help you with number 7 in just a little bit, because that one, we need to make sure we know how to do that. And you can stop at number 7. In fact, let's just start with number 7 on this problem. You have a question? Yes.
Numbers 4 and 5 on page 6, 8, and 9 is like almost the same question as number 3 on 688.
Well, thank you for letting me know that. Very interesting. You know what? That is interesting. Okay, let's go down to number 7. Now it says, find the area of the lawn. It says, use the diagram that shows the lawn that surrounds an office building. Okay, so this is the office building, and the green part is the lawn. Well, what we have to do is 2 things. Find the area of the trapezoid, then find the area of the building, and then do we add those answers together or subtract those answers? We're cutting that piece out, right? So we're going to subtract it. So let's do that right now. The area of the trapezoid equals, the height is 80. So we have 80 times 140 plus 100. It's a trapezoid divided by 2. So the area is going to equal 80 times 240 divided by 2. So the area of the trapezoid will be, I don't have a calculator, kids, so I need someone to type it in. I don't know what happened to my, here, I found one. What did you get, Owen? 9,600. Does everyone agree with that? Okay, we're going to say the area, I'm going to agree with him, is 9,600 feet squared. Now, we have to find the area of the, it's not a square, it's a rectangle. What do I do to find the area of that rectangle of this office building here? What's the formula for the area of a rectangle? Thank you. The area of the rectangle is base times height. So it's going to be 50 times 52. You don't divide it by 2 because it's a rectangle. 50 times 52. Did you get 2,600? So the area of that shape is 2,600 feet squared. Now, who remembers, what do we have to do now to find the area of the lawn? What do we do with these 2 answers? What am I going to do with the area of a trapezoid and the area of a rectangle? This is like an I learn question. Yeah. Subtract them. So that's what we're going to do. So the area of the lawn is 9,600 minus 2,600, and the area of the green grass is 7,000 feet squared. Any questions on that? Now it goes one step further. If 1 bag of grass seed covers 2,000 square feet, how many bags are needed to seed the lawn? How many bags of seed are needed for this lawn? How many 2,000s are in a 7,000? 3. But that's only 6,000. So how many bags are you going to have to buy? 4. You have to buy 4 bags. Why 4 bags? Because 7,000 divided by 2,000 is 3, but you still have 1,000 left over. You need 3.5 bags, but they won't, you have to buy them So if you need 3.5, you have to buy 4 bags. You got it? Because 1,000 over 2,000 is 1/2, right? Any questions on that problem? Okay, go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. With the calculators, it shouldn't take you very long. And then I have a little worksheet that we're going to work on. We're not going to do all the problems on the worksheet, but some of them. Okay, so for this worksheet today, this is what you're going to do. Draw a picture of a parallelogram. Identify your parts. We know that we have our base is 7. We don't have the height, but we know the area is 49. The formula, A equals base times height for a parallelogram. For the equation you substitute. Under the A, put a 49 equals, do we have our B? Yes, it's 7 times the height. Now, it's a one-step equation. What will undo multiplying by 7? Divide by 7. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. What's 49 divided by 7? Yeah, so our height is going to equal 7. 7, because that cancels out, equals the height, and it's 7 meters. Now, you can choose which one of these you want to do for homework. Okay, I suggest you do number 2. Now let's go to number 5. Now this one's a little trickier. In problem number 5, the area of a triangle is area equals base times height divided by 2. This is going to be a 2-step equation. So let's draw a triangle. My base is 6. I don't know my height. My height is missing. We know the area equals 9. So the formula, area equals base times height divided by 2. Equation, replace A with 9. 9 equals 6 times H divided by 2. Everyone see that? Now, the first thing we have to do to solve this is multiply both sides by 2. So I will have 9 equals 6 times the height divided by 2. And to get rid of the 2, we're going to multiply both sides by 2. You got it? Boom. 2 times 9 is 18. 18 equals 6 times the height. Now you already know what 6 times what's 18? 3. And the way we do this, divide both sides by 6. 18 divided by 6 is 3 feet equals the height. So with triangles, it's a 2-step. You're going to multiply both sides by 2, and then you divide by either the base or the height that you have. For this one, I would say 6 or 8 would be the easy ones to do. All right, so that is it. Do one of the problems from the parallelogram, one from the triangle, and then don't forget to finish doing 1 to 6 on page 689. And that is it.